Hey, Jerome, you got me?
Gotcha.
Great. I know it's been about 2 months now where you don't know exactly who's starting a quarterback, depending on what week it is. But how are you guys dealing with that again after watching DTR go down yesterday?
Uh, just the same way we've been dealing with it, knowing that there's a job to do and that we have, more games to play, and that whoever's up at quarterback, we're gonna rally behind them, and trust that they can do the job, and you know, just believe in the coaches and the coaching scheme that we have.
Have you gotten to spend any time with Joe Flacco yet? And is there a comfort level having a guy with that much experience?
Haven't had to spend much time with him besides meeting rooms and stuff like that, but of course, there's a comfort in having a guy like Joe Flacco and with everything that he's accomplished. Be in the same meeting room as you and on the same team as you. Um, and we're just pretty much looking forward to what he can do to help the team and how we can help him and
Thanks.
build a relationship.
Thanks, Jerome.
All right, next we'll go to Cam.
Jerome, the run game has been the strength of this team all season long. You guys have been finding ways to keep it going on the ground, but in a game where maybe that's not the game plan, that's not where you guys are focusing heavy. How do you personally stay grounded and focus on the game plan, whether it's you running hard or the game is going to be in the air?
Like Coach said before the game, it's a do your job game. So no matter whether we're running the ball, I'm in pass pro, or running a route, I'm out there to do my job, and that's pretty much all I focus on is whenever I'm on the field, whatever player is called, I'm just out there making sure that I do my job.
And then kind of off of what Scott was asking with Dorian and the inconsistency kind of situation at quarterback this season, for you guys, is what you have dealt with these first several weeks of the season maybe a way for you guys to learn from it as you might have to deal with more change at quarterback?
Um, I just feel like we have a thing called START, and the R and START stands for resilient. I just feel like the resilience that this team has, and like just keeping it pushing no matter what's going on, who's at quarterback, who's down, next man up, and rallying behind the next man up and making sure that the next man up is ready.
Thank you.
All right, next we'll go to Daryl.
Yeah, Jerome, how have you guys been? You've been talking about next man up and that. Just from a mental aspect, how are you guys handling dealing with all these injuries? I mean, the guys that have already gone down, and then yesterday you lose Amari, DTR, Miles gets banged up. Just what's it been like for you guys week in and week out, having to, weather the storm, if you will?
Just like I said before, rallying behind the next man up and let him know we have his back, and praying for a speedy recovery for those who are injured or may not be able to play, and if they are able to play, we rally behind them too, and we work with who we got, and pretty much like a we all we got type of thing, and whoever's playing, that's all we got, and we get behind them and we push them and let them know that we behind them, and we fight to win games.
And I know you do your part when your number is called. Yesterday, you seem to have some success running the ball, albeit in limited carries. Do you do any lobbying when you feel like you got it going? And how much are you hoping that maybe those opportunities increase as the weeks go along here for you?
Just like I said before, not really paying attention to carries or who gets the ball, or how how the ball is distributed or what plays we run. It's more so of when a play is called, doing my job. I feel like we're in good hands when Coach Stefanski and those guys are upstairs calling the plays, and we just follow their lead and trust in them, and that's what's been helping us so far. So pretty much gonna continue to do that.
All right, next we'll go to Tony.
Hey, Jerome, it seemed from the very beginning of the game that you in particular were having success running the ball. You only carried 9 times, but it looked like it could have been a career day if you had more attempts. Why were you so successful against Denver? I know they weren't very good against the run, but what was working in the running game with you in particular?
It wasn't just me; it was the offensive line, and they're doing their job. pushing dudes off the ball, resetting the offensive line. Resetting the line of scrimmage, and everybody just giving me the opportunity to make good reads, and coach calling the right plays. I feel like that's pretty much what it all boiled down to. Just everyone doing their job.
Sometimes a guy can feel if he's having like a career day in store for him. Did they ever cross your mind in the early going of that game, the way you were running?
No, not at no time in the game am I worried about personal stats or what the day could be. And the most important stat and I think in all of our opinion is a W. So whatever was being called out there for us to get a W, that's what I was gonna go with. Whether it was we would talk about a career day after the game and then meetings on Monday, but during the game was probably the last thing on my mind.
All right, thank you.
All right, we'll take a few more. First one from Delvis.
Jerome, I want to commend you, brother. I saw with the my cause, my cleats, that your cause was gun violence, and you're donating to the Ohio Coalition Against Gun Violence. Could you tell me, why did you pick that? And again, I want to commend you because that's one of the major ills that's affecting this entire country. Thank you.
Just pretty much all my life, growing up pretty much as a kid up until now, there's people in my life that have died from gun violence. And more recently, one of my good friends, I've known him since elementary school, ran track with him in middle school, ran track with him in high school, always been around. And one of my good friends recently just passed away due to some nonsense with gun violence. And it was just something on my heart. And I feel like, a lot of gun violence also in Ohio and Cleveland. And, something I felt in my heart that needed to be, a light shined on it. And that was one of the things that I wanted to do with my cause, my cleats.
All right, and last one from Brendan.
Hey, Jerome, following up on what you had mentioned earlier, it sounded like there was an acronym START. You said R was for resilience. Can you tell us more about what the rest of that stands for and how those are, pillars for what you guys are trying to achieve?
Yeah, smart, tough, accountable, resilient team. And I think, resilience been showing up for us, and resiliency has been showing up for us. And I think the most important one to us is the word team, and that's all being together. If you walk through our facility, you'll see that we have the T on the wall, and we all signed it because we're all here for each other. And as long as we have each other's back, we feel like, we will win a lot of games, and, we'll be a very good football team.
I'll ask you quickly about pass pro. There was one play in particular that really caught my attention yesterday that looked like a really good job in pass pro. Obviously, this room's gotten a lot of attention this year with Nick getting injured, and you guys have continued to be productive running the ball. But how much emphasis do you personally spend in working on that part of your game and being good in pass protection?
We spend a lot of time on it, actually. We actually dedicate a meeting to it, and throughout the week, we have a walkthrough for it, and coaches put cut-ups of teams and files for us to look at in our off time, so we can see those looks over and over and over again and know what to expect. We spend a lot of time on it. I feel like it's really important to protect the quarterback, because one of the most important players on the team, but everybody looks at oh, that's a nice pass, or, oh, that was a good run, but nobody really looks at the blocking that goes into it. And I feel like blocking is a really big part of pretty much passing here.
All right, that wraps us up. Thank you, Jerome.
Thank you.
All right, first question will come from Tom.
Thanks, Jordan. Sione, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, what's up, Tom?
Hey, man. Hey, I guess pretty positive news on Miles, who it doesn't sound like he had any structural damage, is going to be okay. Just from your standpoint, what's it mean to see him out there even playing, one-armed for most of the second half and leading you guys?
Yeah, I know. To have your key player out there on defense is big for the defense. He brings a lot of big plays to us, and then just his presence alone is big for us. And just to hear he was hurt, obviously he was banged up second half. He's a warrior, continues to play even though he was hurt, could probably sat out, but just tells you a lot of type of player he is. So I'm happy that, it wasn't nothing crazy and, he could heal up and be ready to go.
And the Broncos were able to gash you guys a little bit on the run. What did you see as like the major problem yesterday?
Yeah, no, tip our hats to those guys, man. Obviously, we pride ourselves on being stout in the run. Felt like Denver really came out and schemed us well, gashed us. We just got to do better overall. We watched the tape, and definitely got to make those corrections, make sure it doesn't linger into this week. But very good O-line, good running backs. Russ was definitely just a lieutenant out there making calls and salute to those guys for going out there and executing their game plan.
All right, next we'll go to Mary Kay.
Sione, can you just address the fact that, the last two games, I think it was 172 yards allowed and then 169 yards allowed, which has been uncharacteristic of you guys. So what can you do to shore that back up?
Yeah, we just got to get back to our fundamentals and really lock in, tune in this week, so it doesn't happen. Obviously happen. Steelers, they break for that long run. We come back, kind of adjust, and then this week, letting those runs linger all game. Definitely just have to get back to our fundamentals, lock in this week, knowing that the Rams can also do the same. They'll watch the tape too, so we just got to be prepared, lock in, put in the extra hours, and really tune in when practice comes around.
Thank you.
All right, next we'll go to Scott.
Hey, Sione. Staying on that run defense, Kevin mentioned that the Broncos got you schematically a little bit early, and then you guys adjusted to that. How much of that was Russ and his ability to keep the ball on those zone reads and just check in with things at the line of scrimmage too?
Yeah, they were definitely scheming up runs. We let some get away from us. Obviously, we could be better. I look myself in the mirror first, knowing that I could have did a better job. But we just got to be stout overall, not letting those runs kind of linger throughout the whole game. We adjusted, but sometimes when you just playing from behind, just it doesn't sit well. But yeah, Russ overall, he was doing a great job, just kind of checking, doing a bunch of checks at the line, just kind of seeing what we're in. Again, just tip our hat to those guys, man. 5 winning streak, good team, getting hot at the right time, and really went out there and executed. Just got to tip our hats to those guys.
Thanks.
All right, next we'll go to Cam.
Hey, Sione, I know you've had to do it before, but with Anthony Walker out, how do you think that you and the other linebackers were able to step in and kind of embody that next man up mentality? And how do you take that forward with you with the Rams up next?
Yeah, just in this league, like I've always said, you just got to be ready. Obviously, you want to play better. Probably wasn't our cleanest game overall. We could definitely be stout, but I feel like, you look at Jock flew around, made a lot of plays, and Walker's continue to get healthy. So, him coming back would be a big help to the room. And it's a long season. Obviously, things happen. But when your numbers call, you got to just go out there and execute. So we'll get back to the drawing board and, clean up all the assignments.
Thank you.
All right, next we'll go to Delvis.
Sione, my calls, my cleats. You chose cancer awareness, and your charity is the American Cancer Society. Is that something that's near and dear to you as far as dealing with cancer? Thank you.
Yeah, no, yeah. My father had cancer, passed away. And so definitely, I try to do my best to kind of support those causes. So it hits home. Definitely something that I want to support throughout my whole life. But yeah, just, like to try to impact where I can. So I definitely support those causes.
All right, and last one from Daryl.
Yeah, Sione, I wanted to ask you about the challenges or the volume of offensive turnovers and you guys having to run out there and defend some of these short fields. What can you guys do defensively to shore that up in the red zone, that red zone defense when you have to get out there on a quick change?
Yeah, obviously, that's one of the big stats in the game, just taking care of the ball. So, we could definitely be better there, but, defense could play better too. It was a team game. It's a team game, and, defense didn't play as stout as we wanted to. Specifically just talking about the run, third down, we could do better. So offense, defense, special teams, we got to play better as a unit. And even if we, do get those short fields, we got to have the mindset of going out there and getting a stop. And that's what, great defenses do. And that'll always be the standard.
And it goes without saying what Miles means to you guys, both on as well as off the field. But could you just give us maybe a little behind the curtain of just, the reaction, the feeling to get the news that he's going to be okay and not have to miss significant time? Because of obviously, if he did, that would have been a tremendous blow.
Yeah, big relief. A key piece to our defense, to this organization. Just his presence and what his playmaking ability, his what he does is from a leadership standpoint. So hearing the news is definitely a relief to everybody in this organization, and know that he's healthy, he's fine, and obviously he's banged up still, but something that we can work through. It wasn't bad news, so yep, we're all happy. We're all locked in for this week.
All right, that wraps us up. Thanks, Sione.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it, John.